Alright, we just got a new Star Wars movie, Star Wars The Mandalorian Grogu, so I'm gonna go back and rank every theatrical Star Wars movie we've gotten so far. Before we get started, this is 100% subjective list, just my personal opinion. Easily in last place for me is The Rise of Skywalker. This was a terrible overcorrection from The Last Jedi. The plot's messy, the lore doesn't really work with the established lore, it kind of ruins the end of Return of the Jedi, so easily in last place. In 11th place, I'm gonna go with Solo, A Star Wars Story. This movie's just, it's very mediocre to me, very middle of the road, doesn't challenge characters, doesn't have anything to offer, and I found it kind of boring at times. In 10th place, I'm gonna go with The Last Jedi. I think this movie is actually kind of better structured and made than other movies higher on the list, but it was just so disappointing to me. I just feel like they completely wasted the potential with Luke and his return, and it's just really hard to enjoy this one. In 9th place, I'm gonna go with The Mandalorian Grogu. It's a straightforward action-adventure movie that met my expectations, and actually ended up having a little bit more fun with it than I was expecting to. That being said, it is still a mediocre, straightforward film with nothing new to offer. In 8th place, I'm gonna go with The Force Awakens, and honestly, if what was set up in this movie was paid off in later installments, this movie would be much higher on the list, but as it is, I think this movie is a fun rollercoaster ride of a movie, and it establishes some great characters in Kylo Ren and Rey, but it doesn't get paid off in a meaningful way, so all that's just wasted potential there. In 7th place, I'm gonna go with The Phantom Menace. Darth Maul's awesome, the lightsaber fights are incredible, maybe the last duel at the end is the best of any in the entire saga, but the story is messy, and it's kind of boring at times, does not flow great, the pacing's pretty off, we all know the terrible stuff in there with Jar Jar Binks, the dialogue, but at the end of the day, I really appreciate what George Lucas was trying to do, and make this epic story, and I just have such nostalgia for it that it's higher on the list for me. In 6th place, I'm gonna go with Attack of the Clones, and the reason it's higher on the list is I do enjoy kind of the mystery and the motivations that they go through in this movie with Count Dooku, and the establishing the Clone Army, and Palpatine's role and all that, and I just found that interesting. On the negative side, yes, the story is messy again here, the execution is not done well, the dialogue is awful at some moments, undisputably, but at the end of the day, this prequel trilogy I enjoy more than the sequel trilogy because I feel like George Lucas had a vision for where he wanted to go with these films, and they all work cohesively, where the sequel trilogy does not, so that's why the prequel trilogy is higher for me than the sequel trilogy. In 5th place, Return of the Jedi. Look, the Luke, Darth Vader, Palpatine stuff is phenomenal. That's easily the best part of the movie, some of the best stuff of the entire trilogy. What brings it down is, it's basically all the mature themes they set up in Empire, they revert back and go for pretty much a kid's movie here. The opening of Jabba's Palace, Ewoks, it's all kind of silly, but the Vader, Luke, Palpatine stuff definitely saved this movie, and that's why it's higher on the list. In 4th place, Rogue One. I want to put this one higher on the list, but I can't justify it, but I love this movie. I think it's easily the best of the Disney Star Wars movies. I love the setup of explaining how they got the Death Star plan, construction of the Death Star, and ultimately how they knew about the weakness of the Death Star and how to destroy it. And of course, the Darth Vader scene is awesome. Probably my favorite scene in any Star Wars movie. In 3rd place, A New Hope. This is the classic original Star Wars movie, and still holds up for me today. I love coming back and visiting this one. I love the opening sequence with Vader attacking the rebels with Leia on board. I love the story. I love the themes it establishes. It's a classic for a reason, and it's going to continue to be for a long time. In 2nd place, The Empire Strikes Back. I know this is heresy to a lot of people, and I agree, this is probably the best written Star Wars film, has the most mature themes, maybe besides Rogue One, and some of the revelations are just awesome. If you were in the theater seeing this for the first time, I bet it just blew your mind. I love this movie, probably gives us the most Vader too, so I love that. I don't have anything negative to say about it, I just enjoy number one on this list a little bit more. In 1st place is Revenge of the Sith. I know there's some messy stuff in here, maybe Anakin's motivations to go to the dark side don't make sense 100%, Padme's death maybe doesn't make perfect sense, whatever. This movie just gives us so much we want. I mean, the Anakin, Obi-Wan duel at the end, absolutely iconic. I mean, they give us fights between Anakin, Dooku, Obi-Wan, General Grievous, Mace Windu, Palpatine, Yoda. I mean, this movie just gives you everything you possibly want. We get to see Darth Vader again. I actually think the story with Order 66, I think that's a really heavy, powerful moment in the film. Maybe it's nostalgia because, I was 11 or something when this came out, and obviously that was the coolest thing ever to 11-year-olds. So maybe I just have nostalgia for it, but it's the one I enjoy most when I'm rewatching these films. So Revenge of the Sith comes in 1st place for me. That's my ranking of all the Star Wars movies. Let me know your ranking down in the comments below, and I know I left some little projects and, the Anime Clone Wars movie out. Feel free to include that as well if you like, and comment, subscribe for more videos like this.